And are you aware of any process that the chamber goes through in determining whether or not to release that information?
I don't know the law on releasing records.
Did Melissa DeRosa tell you that she expected any sort of negative reaction from releasing Ms. Boylan's records?
On this complaint,
Yes.
no. There was a general conversation on what is the right response to the entire situation. I believe it's not factually accurate. I believe there are total falsehoods. I believe it was slanderous to me and defamatory to me. On the other hand, there's a high level of sensitivity about what you say and how you say it, because there could be a backlash in the public statement. So there were ad nauseum discussions among them about what to say, to such an extent that we literally wound up saying nothing. Different ideas. You know, we just all lived through the Biden campaign. I thought something that the Biden campaign did, which was intelligent, was rather than Biden saying, I think this, former staff people for Biden said, I think this, female staff people. I thought that was more credible than Biden just saying. So we talked about a number of alternatives, but they were all debated to death, and then we literally wound up doing nothing. And I had like a 2-line statement that I issued at the end of the day.
Was it your idea to try to get women to sign on to some statement supporting
I
you?
thought it was more effective than just me going out there saying, no, none of this happened. I thought it was more effective to have female staff people say, make a statement. That's what Biden did. That's what other politicians have done in this circumstance. I thought that was an effective vehicle.
Who did you discuss that with?
I discussed it with the press people.
And when you say the press people, which press people?
It would have been as a party, probably Melissa.
I'll let you continue.
You said you were, one of the things that you talked about was the public backlash, you know, and of what about attacking a complainant. Was there any discussion that you were a part of where anyone raised the possibility that it could be considered retaliation?
Well, that was part of the theory of the backlash. Now, you have to remember the context for this. In the conceptual, if you look at this without any context, you could say, here's a person who's making a complaint. The context here is, this is a person who threatened retaliation, who, in a really outrageous text, announces she's running for office, and then happens to put out a totally different set of facts that are directly contrary to everything that actually happened. Almost point by point. And that this was Lindsay, either in her new race for Manhattan Borough President, preemptively, prophylactically protecting herself from the truth by asserting the charges the exact same way, opposite way. Toxic work environment. She was accused of a toxic work environment by a subordinate, or words to that effect. She was accused of harassing people and using them as a punching bag. Those were all allegations against her. She takes every allegation and puts it against me. Literally weeks after the election. So
When you say after the election,
after she announced she was going to run. And many of my people understand life and politics, right? You announce you're going to run for office. First question your campaign people say to you is, what do we have to know and what do we have to worry about? The way they would hear this is, she said, well, this is what happened when I was in the state. I had this meeting, here were the complaints, I quit, I tried to get the job back. And this was a reversal of everything that she had been, all the complaints against her, she made against me.
And so is it your understanding that if a complainant has had similar complaints made against them, that it's okay to make those public following any complaint that they make?
No, but no.
That's
But
not, that
Mr.
is.
Kim, this is what I would say in a practical context, because this is not an abstract textbook situation. She, Ms. Boylan, has said multiple times, I have the resources, I'm coming after a-holes, I'm going to retaliate. They believed she had a plaintiff's attorney working with her. The question I would ask is, why didn't she ever file a complaint? If this was all true, why didn't she file a complaint? She had the plaintiff's lawyer. They were trying to put together a class. Why, if this were true, why wouldn't you file a complaint? Only one reason, my opinion. You don't want a real investigation. It's a political situation, not a real legal situation. Because the first thing your lawyer would have said was, we have to file a complaint. She's got 57 advisors. Call GOER. Go to EEO. Go to Division of Human Rights. She's got a specialized lawyer. Why no complaint? If this was true, why no complaint?
So my question was, is it your understanding that if a complainant has had similar complaints made against them, that it's okay to make public those complaints because they had?
No, I didn't say that, no.
So that you don't agree with?
No, you can be a perpetrator of sexual harassment and be a victim of sexual harassment. You can be both.
But that was one of the things you mentioned in terms of what was being discussed in terms of responding to Lindsey Boylan, that she had these complaints against her, so that was diametrically opposed, you said, or in conflict with her allegations.
No.
One of the reasons why.
I was saying I believe the way a reasonable person would look at this situation, in this environment, in this moment. She runs for office. She said all good things about me before then. Wrote articles, all beautiful tweets. He respects women. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. All of a sudden, you announce for office 2 weeks later, all these allegations out of nowhere, which mirror every allegation against you. And your lawyer doesn't say a single word. Funny.